Sanctuary cities. Proof that despite however long it's been since you've last seen it, the American dream still exists. Or if you're asking this guy,
Confieso que a mí no me gusta trabajar porque me da alergia. Vivo de los taxes que usted paga al mes.
American Idol still exists. Our migrant crisis, if you want to call it that, has overflowed into cities. And some of these cities, despite federal policy, protects undocumented immigrants from deportation. They're called sanctuary cities. And these safe havens include, but are not limited to, New York, Chicago, and San Francisco. We can trace this movement back to the 1980s when various church communities aided human rights crises across Central America. San Francisco laid a wave of cities that argued 3 reasons against using state or city funds to support federal operations like immigration. One, the 10th Amendment. It was unconstitutional to force cities or states to adhere to federal rules. It's that simple. Can't boss them around. Second reason is that immigrants are more incentivized to cooperate with authorities if they don't have to fear deportation. Now, that leads to trust and public safety concerns being assuaged because we get valuable intel on how we can solve crimes from people that otherwise wouldn't have given it to us. A third reason was ethical. These migrants are coming from countries with little security and low financial opportunities. These people, they're seeking asylum. They're looking for freedom, a brand message America was built on. Oftentimes than not, though, they're not just looking for work, they're looking for safety. As is
People like Berta, who fled Honduras after MS-13 gang members tried to force her 12-year-old granddaughter into marriage. Berta refused. They threatened to set her on fire, so she and her granddaughter fled to the US.
That is an incredibly sad story, no doubt. But when you have right-wing pundits saying things like this, when reports of migrant-related crime in NYC are on the rise, and you see Americans underfunded and unemployed, and then you scroll past this guy, I understand. If Biden can't fix this, if he can't figure it out, then the alternative is really scary. Because those Americans aren't just fed up, they're pissed, drunk, and mad. And just like anybody, when they're drunk, questionable figures start to look really attractive to you, like this guy here. And he knows this. It's why he won the first time, and it's going to be a crucial reason why he tries to win a second time. Like most things he says, it's a blur of reality because we're actually in this problem because of policies he put in place. Listen to him.
One of my most successful policies was Title 42, which allowed for instant expulsion of any illegal alien who crossed our borders. Anybody. If they were bad, we got them out.
So if you don't know, Article 42 was a mandate, an executive order that the Trump administration pushed through during the COVID pandemic as a way to repeal immigration policy and to enforce ICE raids. That's why we saw those horrific videos in 2017 and 2019, people being detained in New York City and San Francisco, all over America. Now, all of that creates distrust and aggression in local communities, the very thing sanctuary city policies were trying to solve. But look at this, not only does it risk public safety, it's also draining city funds from helping people like you or me every day. So when you see Eric Adams open a migrant shelter instead of a community center, he does it because he's getting pressure from the White House to try and figure out a way to clean up this mess of an immigration policy we have right now in America. All of this just showcases the intricate tightrope, the balance that we try and find between city, state, and federal government. And when we're taking drastic actions like raiding our own cities, it deeply disturbs this balance. So all these problems, what do we do with it, right? Well, you made it this far into the video, and I can't leave you hanging. I want to give you a prize for doing so. I think I might have a solution, and you're going to be the first one to hear about it. Here's how we're going to fix this thing. Are you ready? I call it citizen swap. It's kind of like Wife Swap, you know, that old reality hit show where they swapped wives in 2 families? We'll do that, but it's also going to be inspired by the Bracero program, where United States and Mexico reached an agreement to send Mexican temp workers to America during the labor shortage in World War II. So we'll send angsty, disgruntled Gen Z millennial yuppies to these coastal Central American towns. They'd go there for spring break anyway, right? And you thought that spring break was a boost to the economy? Man, well, listen, how about you try winter solstice sabbatical and stimulate the economy of your favorite Central American town? Pura vida. America is a land for all, right? So I got something for the Blue Lives Matter patriots too. An all expense paid trip ticket to the front lines of a real drug war. No need to thank me. I know. You can make your Batman dreams come true when the local neighborhood watch gets an upgrade and a taste of the big leagues. It's one thing to command respect with your badge on your chest, but it's another when your opponent's arsenal rivals small countries. Yeah, try that in Sinaloa. And try and remember, when the dust settles, not everything is as black and white as one of your old favorite Western movies. In the end, it's all about perspective. The world isn't just the view from behind a picket fence or steel one. The world's vast, complex, and waiting for those daring enough to explore it with an open heart. So here's to the journey, to the lessons waiting in the unlikeliest of places, and to the stories we'll tell when we return. If we can make it past immigration.
I can make the
Thank you.
double stretch.
Peace.
I can teach finesse, and I'm about my check. You better come correct.